Hey, welcome to another episode of VegOut. My name is Stephanie. I'm going to be introducing you to make a lasagna that is made with eggplant and zucchini. I've already chopped it up, so you don't have to worry about watching me chop because we know that's not really that much fun. So we chopped it up into very thin slices. I also have some portobello mushroom in here just on top. I figured that would add some extra flavor. And your sauce of your choice, if you make your own delicious sauce, you can use that. I like to use either a canned organic or I make my own sauce. Today I'm going to use a canned organic. And I also use this vegan ricotta cheese blend. The ricotta cheese blend is made by taking cashews that are raw, soaking them overnight, or 4 hours. You could do as little as an hour, but the longer you soak them, a little bit better. You soak them in water, just fill them up. And then the next day when you're ready to use them, dump out all the water, blend in your food processor. Of course, I use my Vitamix because I use that for everything. I add some almond milk, salt, pepper, and then anything you would use for ricotta cheese, like I use some garlic, I use some Italian seasoning, I use some basil, anything fresh, and as much salt and pepper as you want. You have to really see what the taste is and see how you like it. So very easy to make. I'll show you another time how to make it, because you can also use this to make fettuccine alfredo and some of the other things. The really great thing about using this recipe is that you don't have to worry about using pasta. So all of those people that have allergies towards gluten, you're trying to have maybe less carbohydrates, those refined carbohydrates, this is going to be a lot better for you. So let's start off. It's very, very easy. You're first going to take your sauce and just start laying it like you would for any other lasagna. We got our first layer. I always like to start with the sauce first so it doesn't burn on the bottom, and then decide how you want to do it. Layer it up. And you know, sometimes I use zucchini, and then sometimes I use just that yellow squash. It depends on what I feel like. Sometimes I use a mixture of the two, but today I'm just going to use the eggplant and some of that summer squash, that zucchini. It's so delicious. Now, depending on how much cheese you like, you can put it on there. I put a good amount, nothing too crazy. And another layer. And I might have to get more sauce, which is fine because I actually have another jar. So here we go, another layer of this beautiful, and of course we always use organic. We know that's important. And it doesn't have to look pretty because realistically, as you go, what's going to happen is everything's going to kind of smush together naturally. So you really don't have to worry too much about if you leave in any spaces or anything else, because it's all going to mix together, especially as it cooks. You want to try to force as much in there as you can. I'm going to have a little extra over here. All right, and another layer. You know, it's so easy. People always say that vegan meals and vegetarian meals are so difficult to make, and you're watching me do this in a really short period of time. So you're going to see how easy to make. What takes the longest amount of time for this is waiting for it to come out of the oven, when everyone's smelling it and saying how delicious it smells. So that's one of the bigger issues that you have. All right, so have another layer over here. And I'm going to do again with another eggplant. Should have just enough. Yep, in fact, that's perfect. Another layer of the cheese. Oh, in fact, you know, as I'm doing this, I'm realizing that one of the really important ingredients I forgot to mention in the ricotta cheese is my favorite, the nutritional flakes. Those nutritional flakes, you know, we talked about how there's vitamins in there, vitamin B12 that a lot of vegetarians and vegans do not get enough of because it comes from animal products most of the time. So it gives it that cheesy flavor. So when you are adding it to the ricotta, you're going to want to add at least a 1/4 cup or so to your amount of your, depending on obviously how much you put, but put to taste. See what you like, see what the flavor is, and just keep adding nutritional yeast, salt, pepper, garlic, and just see whatever you like it. There can't be an exact amount. Just decide if you need more, if you need us to add any more to that. All right, we're pretty close to the end. And this is getting a little bit sparser because I'm getting a little bit less of the vegetables. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, since there's not much zucchini left, I'm just going to take these mushrooms and I'm going to cut them up. Some portobello mushrooms, you know, that always gives it, again, that for people who really do miss the meat, gives it that meaty flavor. Add some flavoring to it. I know not everyone's a mushroom fan, but we know that the fungus is very, very good. It's been shown to help fight cancer and all sorts of other health issues. All right. And then we're just going to pour some more of this delicious sauce on top. As I promised, I have more hiding. Always got to be prepared for anything, because I feel like the sauce, for some reason, it goes so quickly. So it's a much bigger, you always think you're going to use just a tiny bit, and you use a lot more than you need to. Let's see if I can open it. All right. Really gets that sauce on there. I like to pour a little bit extra. Yummy flavor is going to go on in there. And then I finish it off with some breadcrumbs. You know, obviously if you want to use the vegan breadcrumbs, that's really good ones. If you make your own breadcrumbs, of course, that's always nice. If you have an allergy, you can use the breadcrumbs of your choice. This is really just to give it a little bit of flavor, give it a little bit of crispiness. And if you'd like, other than this, if you want to use some Daiya cheese, and add some of that Daiya cheese on there, you can, but you don't have to. You know, again, and if you're trying to make this as a vegan, you would use the Daiya. If you're using this as a vegetarian, you could use regular cow's milk, but it's always good to try to stay away from that when you can, as much as possible. So here it is. I'm going to put it in the oven. I've got it set to 400. It's going to be in the oven for about 40-45 minutes, and we'll see you on the other side when it comes out, and we can have a piece together. Alright guys, we're back. The timer rang and we've got this delicious, very warm lasagna ready to come out. You can see it bubbling up in there. Look at this. And you can see it made a nice little crust on top by putting the breadcrumbs on top. And you can see it sizzling. So what we're going to do is I actually have some friends over, so we're going to actually hang out for a little while, wait for it to cool actually, and then we're going to come back and be able to enjoy it with you. So see you in a few minutes. Alright, so the lasagna's actually cooled off, so we're going to take a little piece. You see it's not boiling anymore, because that would not be very good. We don't want anyone to get burned while they're here. Cut into it. And the good thing about eating all vegetables is that you can eat a lot more food and not feel guilty about any of it, because this is all natural. You know, we always want to have clean eating, which is the big thing that's really important. So that means food that's as natural, as close to nature as possible. So that's definitely what this is. So let's see. I'm going to hopefully not make it fall apart completely. Wow, look at that. All that cheesy goodness. Take another piece here. And as I said before, I have friends over, so if you notice over here, my friend Zoe is here. She's going to help us decide whether or not this is good food. That's my cat Seabass. He's going to try to eat the food, so we're going to try to keep that away from him. I also made some garlic bread. So this is some vegan butter with some garlic on top. Stay away. See, even the cat wants to eat some. All right. Let's get some over here. We can always have more, though. Obviously there's plenty for all of us. All right. Let's try not to burn ourselves. All right. I know this is the exciting part. Let's see, make sure that I did a good job on this one.
That is really good.
How is it? Is it really, or are you lying to me?
No, it is really good.
And you heard it here first. This is really delicious. You saw how easy it was to make. It took us about 8.5 minutes to prepare. The longest one was about And then it'll take about 15 minutes to cook, and then about 10 minutes or so to cool. So try it. There's no reason not to. You can make it ahead of time and freeze it so that way you don't have to worry about when you're gonna, have a late night at work or late night at school, and you want to make sure you have good, nutritious food. So thank you again for coming and visiting us at VegOut. Hope to see you again soon. Take care.